Hello, today I'm going to be talking to you all about the sport of high school wrestling. When most people think about wrestling, they think about the silly costumes and, say, soap opera drama like you see on television with the steel chairs, but the actual wrestling, high school wrestling, is nothing like this. Wrestling, as many of us know, has been around for a very long time. In fact, according to the history of wrestling from wrestling.ihistory.com, wrestling's been around since before the first Olympic Games in 776 BC. And if you refer to the 71st Annual State Finals of Wrestling pamphlet, there's actually a section where it talks about the first tournament held in Indiana in the year 1922. Since then, the rules have been refined. There have been different positions and ways to win a match that were set in place, and the purpose of my speech is to go over a few of those for you to give you a better understanding of the sport. First off, we'll talk about the positions. There is a neutral position, and that is when both wrestlers start on their feet. And there's one more position, that's the referee's position. That'll be one wrestler down on hands and knees and the other wrestler covering him. There's also a scoring system that's put into place. The scoring system can be found in detail, the current scoring system, in the newest program for the individual state finals tournament that just happened this year. It's right here, and I'll explain those right now. There's 2 points for a takedown, and the takedown is basically when you take an opponent down to the mat demonstrating control. There's also 1 point for an escape, and that is the wrestler getting up off the mat and getting back to the neutral position. There's 2 points for a reversal. That's the bottom wrestler reversing the position and gaining control of the top wrestler. There's also near fall points, and this is when a wrestler's shoulder blades are exposed to the mat for a period of time. There's also penalty points. Penalty points can be awarded for an illegal hold, illegal slam, or stalling or fleeing the mat. There's a few different ways you can win a wrestling match. The first I'll discuss is by pinfall. Pinfall basically means you have your opponent's shoulders pinned down to the mat for a period more than 2 seconds. After that, you can win by points. Winning by points means that time has expired and you have the most points at the end of that match. You are declared the winner. If the score is tied at the end of the match, then there will be overtime periods to decide the winner. You can also win by injury default. Winning by injury default means the wrestler you are facing is hurt during the match and cannot compete, so you automatically win that match. You can win by disqualification. That means you have an illegal move done to you and you cannot continue because of it. In this case, you automatically win the match. You can also win by forfeit. Forfeit means you're ready to wrestle, but there's no wrestler in that weight class to wrestle you, so you automatically get the victory by forfeit. Now, this is just an example of what a typical wrestler would wear in a wrestling match. It's a singlet, which is this, and the headgear. The headgear is to protect the ears, and the singlet is basically as form-fitting as possible to give the wrestler as free range of movement as they could possibly have. Now, I'm talking to you about wrestling today because I wrestled in high school for 4 years, something that I really enjoyed. And other than wrestling myself, I go down to the state finals every year to watch the tournament, which is held in this building, which is now called the Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. And it's hosted by the IHSAA. Now I have a few pictures. This is of a near fall, this is of a pinfall, and this is of a double leg takedown in process. This is what it looks like at the end of the match. When a victor is determined, the referee will raise that wrestler's hand. And to sum everything up, I just wanted to re-go over that we went over the point system, the different ways to win a match, and the different positions involved in wrestling, and how everything's changed since it began. And to close out the speech, I want to share with you a quote from my favorite wrestler, Dan Gable. He says, "Once you've wrestled, everything else in life is easy." Thank you very much.